Hi everyone. Now I'm sure that you've jumped on here to find out, about yourselves, tarot, what's heading in the future, what's happening around at the moment. One is, celebration, connection, partnership. But I do find, personally, I really don't do any fortune telling or fortune reading with tarot cards. I find them they work a lot better with personal development, self-exploration. And that's where I lie with the tarot cards. What have we got now? Queen of Swords, which is understanding. Now the Queen of Swords comes up. Everyone, looks at her and says that she seems very harsh and cold and, just cuts things out of her life and cuts things off. It's an air sign card. It's a card related to air. The Queen of Swords, she does cut things off. She's been through a bit of a rough patch in her life. She's gone through the Suit of Swords, so from the Ace of Swords all the way to the Ten of Swords. She's also had the energy of the Page, where it's just new beginning, understanding how to use the energy, the air energy, and the suit. She's been with the Knight as well, rushing into situations where possibly wasn't the right thing for her. But she's now leveled up to be a queen because she understands how to use the sword. The sword's double-sided. One side, just like us, we can pick up a sword. One side will heal us, the other side will harm us. But she understands now how to use a sword to heal herself. If she hadn't gone through the swords from Ace to 10, to the Page, to the Knight, she wouldn't understand that energy, and she wouldn't have built that energy up to a point where she can now sit on a throne, understand how she can transform her life with the butterflies on there, with her childlike innocence. She still has her childlike innocence there. There's the butterflies on her crown. And she has cut something off her wrist. She got a little bit of a, tie on her wrist. What's wrist? Gosh. But she's understood how to use that energy. And it's the same with the tarot deck. It's understanding how to use the energy in your life to get the best out of your life. And then, of course, after the Queen, we have the King, which is using your masculine energy. The Queen is using your feminine energy, because we both have masculine and feminine energies within ourselves. And it's understanding how to use those. It's getting to know them in the first place. It's getting to know those energies and what their shortcomings are, what their downfalls are, and how you can strengthen them to become balanced, more balanced in your life. A lot of people these days, it's come up a lot, re-regulate your nervous system. And that's one way to do it. It's understanding the masculine and feminine aspects within your own self. And during my healing journey, re-regulating my nervous system, because I had a lot of childhood trauma, generational trauma, working through it, I used the cards to do that. Now, I learnt the tarot cards twice. I initially learnt it in my 20s. And then I learnt it again in, give away my age, 30 years later. And they spoke to me in a totally different way. Now, that was after I did a Reiki course. And that was understanding the energy. And to understand energy and how it works around us is a magnificent thing. Okay, we've got the Page of Pentacles now. It's another, you know, child in our energy field, child energy in our field. One who's got full of wonderment, curiosity, and, you know, it hasn't fully got the held of the pentacle, but it's kind of like on the tips of his fingers. And he's looking at it in amazement. It's kind of like a new idea, great idea. Now, pentacles relate to earth energy, which is grounding. So he hasn't yet grounded this idea, and being a page, he's still fairly young. He has an idea. He's wearing green tunic. There's lots of green around him, meaning there's potential for growth. And you can see the mountain in the distance, where it's going to be a bit of a climb for him to get to where he wants to be, which of course is the King of Pentacles. But he needs to harness that energy, the earth energy, being grounded, excuse me, and sort of understand how to use it for his own benefit. Not to bog him down, but to help him ground things, his ideas, so that he can, excuse me, I think it's a cup of tea time, Nelly. So he can use the energy to ground things down into the present. Sorry. Do I need to get a drink of water? But grounding his ideas down so that he can create a, again, wonderful future. Become like the King of Pentacles. Now, if you've seen the King of Pentacles, he's adorned, and also the Queen of Pentacles. They're very abundant. They're adorned with roses and looks like grapes, adorned with a lot of growth around them, a lot of abundance. Now, when we're starting out, we don't have that abundance, but understanding how to grasp it and ground it, that's how we can grow. And that's how we grow our abundance. It's got to grow internally first before we see it externally. I mean, we can see things externally, but then they can be whipped away from us very quickly. He's jumped out now to have a talk. Okay, we've got the Queen of Swords again, who, again, you know, as I said, you can see things around you, but it can be cut away from us very quickly. And I think this is why the Queen of Swords is coming through, because she understands that, you know, if you don't have it grounded within yourself, it can be taken away, it can be cut away very easily because it doesn't have a strong foundation. And the earth cards, court cards, even the pentacles are a way to sort of ground that energy down so you don't get it cut away from you. But even if you do get it cut away from you, you go through transformation and you get to an understanding of, okay, maybe I should have done this. I should have grounded it down a different way. I should have added this into the formula and that into the formula. There's the King of Pentacles on the base. You see how adorned he is with, you know, abundance. And he's sitting there. He's just so comfortable within his own self. You know, he's got it within. You can see on his face that he's just so comfortable being who he is, and he's just so abundant in that. And he's learned, again, from going through, you know, the Suit of Pentacles, from the Ace of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles. Whether he's followed in his family's footsteps when he got to the Ten of Pentacles, that's a different story. He can keep going through, you know, the family lineage and doing what the family did, doctors, lawyers, whatever they did within their family, or he could step away on his own, within his own business. He is a businessman. He knows how to make money. He knows how to keep money. He just is very, very well grounded in what he does. Okay, let's see who else wants to come out and chat. Who else would like to come out and talk about the healing nature of tarot? Okay, we've got two. Okay, so we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest card in the deck. Excuse the writing on my cards, but they were sort of hints for me to sort of understand, because sometimes the court cards are the hardest to sort of understand. You can't grasp around it, especially, you know, man on a horse is sort of in a suit, no, words escape me at the moment. It's not something I wear, I suppose, because it's not a suit of armour. Of course it is a suit of armour. I mean, it's kind of like, well, what does he represent? Well, he's not really moving. He's the slowest knight in the deck. So he has got hand on the pentacle. Still, there's not much abundance around him. He's well protected because he knows the pitfalls that can come to him from trying to build himself up. So he's well aware of the dangers around, you know, the harsh words, the criticism, the put downs. So he's suited himself up to keep himself safe as he plods along on his black horse. The fields are in the background, just ploughed, ready to plant his seeds so he can be on his journey. And then we have, who's come up now? The Three of Wands. Now, the Three of Wands, it reminds me of, I don't know if you've read The Prophet, but the Prophet, at the beginning, he's planning to move to another part of the world. He's settled himself down in one part of the world and he's planning to go to another one. And this is him there sort of hesitating. And as he was hesitating, he was talking to a group of people who had surrounded him. Now he was telling them all his wisdom, everything that he could think of, because he wanted to make sure they were fed with wisdom. Now, when you feed people with wisdom, they hold on to it. And that's what helps them grow. It also helps them grow that abundance. Just like the Knight of Pentacles. He would have been given, he would have got a lot of wisdom from not actually holding on to his idea in the first place, but now he's grasped it because now he can understand what he needs to do. But this is what the prophet did. He spoke wisdom to the people so that they would continue growing, because he knew once he left there was no one there to replace him. So he fed them with wisdom so that he could move to the next place where he was going. And here he is looking over the shores, over the seas of consciousness. He's sort of wondering, you know, where am I going? What am I doing? You know, if I reach that other land, what are the people going to be like there? Am I going to have to start again? Or are they going to be very welcoming to me? Now, the one card that flipped out earlier, I recall, which goes with the Three of Wands, was the actual Four of Wands. Now, I bet you it's at the back of the pack. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, there he is there. He's ready to head off to the other side of the world, where he's going to leave everything he's known for such a long time. Looks worldly and wise. Then we go to the Four of Pentacles. And you can see the people there. It's almost like he's met his tribe. They're quite happy. They're quite welcoming. So if you see the journey there, you know, going from the Three of Wands to the Four of Wands. He's got to the Four of Wands now. And he's quite happy. They're quite excited at him being there. He may have even met his match, you know. They're getting married. But he's arrived somewhere where they want him to be there, and he's quite happy. And that also relates to our journeys in life. Sometimes we leave one place to go to another place. We're a bit wary of where we're going. And this is in our inner journeys as well, our spiritual journeys. But once we get there, and once we sort of understand the land and understand, connect up with people, we're fine. So this is how I see tarot, as a healing journey and a book of wisdom. Thank you for your time.